What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just a web series we're talking about Transformers 5. This is episode number 14, and in this episode, we have some official information about the production of Transformers 5. That's right, you heard it right here, that we're finally going to get a move on the 5th installment of the Transformers live-action franchise, and this came directly from Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner. Now, when did he announce all this? Well, he announced it at New York Toy Fair 2015, which was 2 weekends ago, and it totally slipped through the radar. Because he didn't talk a whole lot about it, he actually talked a lot about the business end of Hasbro at Toy Fair, but he just wanted to slip in a couple of details about what is going on, not just with the company, but the future of the franchise, because that is, after all, a huge part of the success of their company, and that is Transformers. And of course, the live-action films, Michael Bay's live-action films, rather, are what propel their company to larger and increased revenues. So that's what they talked about. They talked about the business end of things, such as emerging markets, revenue, expanding their geographical region, My Little Pony, which is also a huge part of their market, because they do sell a lot of those products. A gem in the holograms, as well as something called Allspark Pictures, which is going to represent a smaller scale of projects, okay, that is going to come out for the future. So they talk a lot about numbers, and they talk about revenue and all that mumbo jumbo, but they also talked about Transformers 5. Okay, now this would be, like I said, the very first official information about Transformers 5. Everything else before that was all speculation. I mean, the only information that we had about Transformers 5 was that Michael Bay was not going to be working on it, at least not right away, because he is working on his Benghazi drama. And then Mark Wahlberg also mentioned that he might be receiving a call soon. But Brian Goldner finally has some solid information for us, and what he announced at New York Toy Fair 2015 is that Transformers 5 is officially going through pre-production. Okay? That's it. That's all he has to say. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, it honestly doesn't mean a whole lot to the fans, really, because not a whole lot is going to be talked about during pre-production in terms of who's going to be in it, what characters we're going to see, and what's going to play out in the story. What they talk about in pre-production is the logistical side of things, such as looking back at what was accomplished in the previous film and what they're going to do for the next film. And I'm positive that they don't have specific character names. They're just going to say things like, okay, well, the bad guys are going to do this, and the good guys have to get from point A to point B, and they have to get this by achieving this. And you know what? You got to remember, Hasbro is a company, and they're here to make money, and therefore they're going to find a way to incorporate new products. Okay? For example, when they're talking about pre-production, they're talking about how they can meet sales goals, or like how they can meet like quotas of some sort. Okay, and by doing that, they have to introduce new characters. And essentially, once again, these films are 2.5 hour long toy commercials, which I don't have a problem with, okay, because they work. All right, so pre-production is officially happening for Transformers 5, and we're gonna start getting some new information slowly. Okay, we are gonna get it, but it's gonna come slowly because pre-production is a very big task. It's only when principal photography happens that's when they start getting really action-packed, because, you know, they start filming on location, and we see a whole lot of stuff going on, you know, globally throughout wherever it is they are filming. But pre-production takes place in an office, okay, as well as, you know, in some locations, you know, location scouting, you know, testing out scenes, sequences, you know, looking at cars, you know, all kinds of things, okay? But it's a lot of stuff that's done secretly, okay? So we won't know a whole lot about anything, but at least we do know that it is actually happening. I mean, we always knew that there was going to be a 5th one and even a 6th one before they start their reboot in 2023, but the fact is that it is happening, okay? And you heard it from the man himself, and that would be Brian Goldner, the CEO of Hasbro. We have no word from Michael Bay, no word on Lorenzo de Bonaventura, definitely no word from Ian Bryce or Steven Spielberg. Okay, but at least the guy who's responsible for what Hasbro is today at least has spoken. Okay, there's still a chance that Michael Bay will be back. I think that Paramount and Hasbro obviously want to keep him around, and by doing that, they got to keep the man happy, and that is by allowing him to do the things that he loves, such as making other films and not just Transformers films. He after all, is an artist, a director, a filmmaker. Okay, so therefore, the Benghazi drama seems to be moving along. After all, they did cast Joseph Krasinski, John Krasinski in the drama. And of course, Michael Bay will be, once again making films, along with making commercials. After all, he, a few days ago, he posted on his Instagram, he's working on another Victoria's Secret commercial. Victoria's Secret obviously loves Michael Bay because, he makes their models look like pretty action-packed, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, he's happy with what he's doing, and, we're probably going to see him back for the 5th installment, and that's all I got to say. That is it. Oh, by the way, the A3 review is in full effect. This is Season 5. We're going to have Episode 2 coming along next week. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, and that's it. That's all I got to say in this video. Oh, one last thing is that I'm working on my studio. The studio, as you've probably seen on my Instagram account, I posted photos of just the wall that has been painted. I'm going to start furnishing it. I'm going to be putting a couple of shelves and some chairs, coffee table, whatever. I'm going to be putting a bunch of stuff to decorate it, and once that happens, we can start doing a lot of really, really fun stuff, okay? It's been like since, I don't know, 2010 since I started my channel. So now it's 2015. I think it's about time that I took the show out of my room and into an actual studio setup, okay? It's taken 5 years to make this happen, and I'm really, really happy that my company has definitely evolved, and it's like, it's eventually evolved into something that is that will appear a little bit more professional, okay? I want to bring you guys the best in this type of entertainment, and there you have it. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. I think we're going to start seeing Predacons, or at least a version of them, okay? I'm talking about, by Predacons, I'm talking about,